today's Cup of Coffee with Scream.
Cup of coffee.
Oh, so many things going round in my head.
Oh, what are those things? Like a carousel?
Well, yeah. Yeah, I think we're all on some kind of fucked up ride that we can't get off.
I like carousels.
We bought a ticket.
Yeah.
We bought a ticket, so I'll have to use that about not my circus, not my monkeys.
No.
No, it's a reason I honestly have sort of removed myself from things right now.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit of self-preservation. I'm very selective on a lot of stuff. I always have been. I mean, it was just because I'm just an odd character. I've always been an odd character.
Yeah, you know what you want. You know what you like.
Yes, but it's also one of those.
You know who you vibe with and who you don't.
Right, and it's like, now, if somebody is totally against everything that I stand for, and people's like, well, you need to be willing to listen to the other side, and say, why? If I have nothing to learn from them, if I already know what their agenda is, why do I need to sit and listen to it? That's for other people. That is not for me. That's an individual choice.
Yeah, that's true.
And we have got a level of brainwashing. I don't know that it's... Brainwashing, again, is just another word for witchcraft. It truly is. It's just been rebranded. And as far
that
as...
is true.
The media, my God, and all these people that act like they know what they're talking about, do they really?
Do they?
Right.
Do they? I don't think they do.
I don't either. And one of the things that I have been screaming about for years is the Smith-Mundt Act, the original one.
Yeah.
The Smith-Mundt Act made it illegal to use propaganda through the everything.
Oh, yeah. Now
against the American people.
Yeah, that needs to be put back into place.
And it's interesting because some of the people that I have been asking about that, because I'm a shit poster. A shit poster. To plant seeds of going, why has no one reinstated this?
Because both sides are using it.
I think so. I really do.
They're all in cahoots with one another.
Well, it's a matter of discernment, praying for discernment daily, trying to find truth.
Yes. And that is very hard in today's world.
Mm-hmm. And that is one of the things I was trying to get oldest kid. He's been having a rough go. And we ask everybody to pray for him.
Yes.
I mean, he's been having a really, really rough go. But he has a group that he has been leading through, like, I think they had studied Plato or Aristotle or some of the classic Greek philosophy. This is some of the bases of Western civilization.
It's base knowledge.
It's how to think. It's critical thinking. And that we have got at least 2 generations, going on 3 now, that are not being taught critical thinking skills.
Right.
How to think well. How to ask the proper questions. When somebody's like, oh, well, this is this. And it's like, how do you know that?
Because they all just blindly follow some of them. Mm-hmm. A lot of them.
And I'm not saying that our generation was above it. Because when oldest kids started pushing me on it, I already was aware years ago as far as the indoctrination. Now, a certain degree of indoctrination is required for a society to even exist. It really is.
Yeah.
It's a matter of following the rules and the laws, understanding why there are rules, why there are laws.
Mm-hmm.
Like stoplight. Why do we stop on red?
Yeah.
Because that is an agreement that you are to stop on red so that the other cars can pass and that there's not loss of life and, your car and everything else.
Yeah.
These are social contracts that are made amongst groups of people. Okay, when you have somebody who breaks those social contracts or laws, there's supposed to be penalties.
Yes, that's what jail was supposed to be. That's what way back death penalties.
Yeah.
Public executions.
Absolutely. Historically, that is something that there were some crimes that were so heinous that these people, that they no longer had the right to live amongst others.
Yeah, they forfeited their right to
Yeah.
live in a civilization.
And somewhere along the line, we lost the vision of that.
Yeah.
We became very weak on a lot of this stuff, to sit there and go, oh, well, why would somebody do that? Well, what about this and what about that? And this, did God really say? It goes back to that original lie of why are laws in place?
Yeah.
Yeah. Within our society, when we lost the commonality of standards, and those standards included what is good and what is evil,
Yeah.
this is not the first time in history that this has happened. But every time in history that this has happened, it has not ended well.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true.
Camille Paglia warned about this years ago. She teaches art history.
What, when you breed weak people?
And I think it was, what was it? Hard times make strong men make good times make weak men. And maybe that is just how humanity is.
Yeah. Maybe.
What is it that we have that we don't have the ability to learn from this? That we keep doing it over and over and over for hundreds and thousands of years. There's some kind of something there.
Yeah.
Of course, evil always is, and it's always waiting in the wings. It's always opportunistic.
It is.
And when people are not vigilant, this is what happens.
Well, that was partially due to the Industrial Revolution, where they wanted to create factory workers. They didn't want people to think. That's why schools were made in the way that they are, so that they could be brainwashed, basically, so that they could just do their job and that's it.
But it was also one of those that not everybody required a public education. No, I mean, that used to be a luxury type thing.
Yeah, and now that you got public education, you've also got bad actors in place of teachers.
Yes.
And that tended to be a thing over the course of history.
Because they have been indoctrinated.
Yeah, they have been indoctrinated, and so they're either treating the children really poorly, or they are spewing some sort of rhetoric that is very harmful.
Absolutely. It's harmful to the child, but it's also harmful to the nation. And this has been a long game. This is not look, how the hell do we get here? You go back decades. And there are people that do that. I'm not one of them. I'm sitting there going, okay, I can go back this far. And it's like, okay. Because evil is.
Yeah.
Like I said, the original lie, did God really say? That seed of doubt. Mm-hmm. Well, what about this? What about that? Well, what about this factor and that factor? And there's a reason that the serpent went to Eve when Adam was not present.
Because it's purely emotional thinking there. And when you got purely emotional thinking, because critical thinking usually goes with rational thinking.
Men are more logical and rational.
More rational and logical. Yeah.
Because that's what they're designed. That's what y'all are designed to do. Ours is more emotive. That's why our hippocampus is larger.
But that's also what happened when you have a lot of SJW women who are running on purely emotional thinking.
Right. And
no
wrong.
Rational or logical thinking. It's purely emotional. And they are in charge of whatever place.
Absolutely.
That tends to be an issue.
And Camille Paglia warned of that again, like I said, years and years ago. And as far as effeminate men and all this stuff. And this has just been so in your face for so long. I honestly believe we're in such a mess that only God can fix it.
Yeah.
I truly do believe that.
Yeah.
And I know that he can.
But that's also up to the individual at the same time to ask God for that help, for that assistance.
Well,
then they also have to have some semblance of self-awareness so that they can actually observe, oh shit, I am falling into these whatever the fuck.
Yeah. But there have been moves of the Holy Spirit, if you want to call them awakenings, of people going, oh shit, we messed up. We really, really messed up.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's such an interesting time to be alive. It's sort of horrifying, sort of, and just expectation. It's like, Lord, what are you going to do?
And what happens sometimes when humans figure out, oh shit, I fucked up? They tend to overcorrect.
Yeah. That happened with a lot of people. The overcorrection.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's no way that you can, that I'm going to do a series on this, because this is, sociology and that type of thing is not, it's something, I'm a wanderer. I've studied many things. I have a moon in Gemini.
Yep.
And so, but as far as giving you chapter and verse where I read something, that ain't going to happen. Because some of this stuff I may have read 40 years ago, and that bits and pieces of it stuck. And it's just like, as far as this APA format, no, fuck APA format. Yeah. Because if it's truth, does it matter if I can do a citation on it? Does one individual have, other than God, have the corner on truth? No. Just because I don't have a citation? No. Is it not good enough for me to speak truth and somebody going, you know what? Yeah. She learned that somewhere. That's truth.
For some, once again, that goes into programming in a way.
It does. And the new priest class. And that how dare you know something on your own, you don't have the right letters behind your name.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. Gatekeeping knowledge.
And
because, sorry, you can't know this because you're not at this level or whatever. You're not part of this group.
Right. You're not one of us, the othering.
That's what's holding people back in a lot of ways.
And it's just like the independent journalist. Yay. You don't have to have a degree in this to ask questions.
Yeah. And sometimes those individual journalists, independent journalists, they tend to get into some trouble.
They do, because a lot of times they're not of the priest class.
Yeah. They don't got the right qualifications to even journal some of that stuff. To even report on some of it.
That's what they're saying. I mean, it's like that young man that uncovered all that scandal up in, was it Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Nick Shirley is his name. All the fraud and stuff. Oh my God. And that they wanted to harm him. They're still trying to harm that young man. His family is put at risk because he told the truth. And anytime that you are living through an era where truth is a dangerous thing, that's scary.
Yeah. And which person was this again?
Nick Shirley. He was the one that uncovered the Leering Center.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, God. That was all where they had all those daycares and stuff, and there were no children there. It was money grab. I mean, millions and possibly billions of dollars, these bogus companies. And then they went to California. There's been people in California uncovering this stuff. And, of course, when wickedness is being brought to light, there's a lot of people that gets pissed that we're on the side of evil.
Yeah.
And they always try to shut down the truth sayers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They always do.
It's just such an interesting time to live through. And it's just like the gaslighting of an event. You will see an event, and then somebody is coming right behind you going, oh, you didn't see that. Don't believe your lying eyes. That's not what really happened. This is what happened. And that is making people just crazy. Some people more so than others. If you've got somebody that's vulnerable anyhow, and they are, as far as gaslighting, it's cult tactics.
Yeah.
Isolate them from people that may be going, now you need to rethink that.
Well, that is why you do need to be willing to talk to people who are, like, of opposite opinions. You have to have an
depends.
open mind in a way.
Sure.
Just to simply be like, hey, I see where you're coming from on this, but this is my opinion. This is my knowledge. This is what I learned.
Yes. But you've got to realize that there are some people that if you listen to their opinions, that does not mean it's going to be reciprocal. If you've got somebody that is that brainwashed, it's like, okay, schizophrenics.
But that's on them.
I'm just saying, you have to, when you're like exchanging ideas, I don't know that we're not beyond that point. I really don't. That with some people, I don't know that we're not beyond that, as evidenced by Charlie Kirk.
And that is possible.
We're in a dangerous time. We truly are in perilous times.
Yeah.
It's just like with schizophrenics. If you talk with schizophrenics and they're telling you that they are, I mean, it's like that one guy I talked to one day and he's like, his friend Saddam Hussein. And I'm like, oh, really? And he's like, yeah, I talked to him just the other day. I need to call him soon. What would have happened if I had said, no, you did not talk to Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein has been dead for years.
He would have spurred out.
Absolutely. They become violent. They had the potential for violence is there.
Yeah.
Because when someone is confronted with the fact that everything that they believe to be true is false,
yeah, it doesn't turn out good.
that's a brain glitch.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't work out that well. Which is sad.
It is. But it was the whatever national press thing when they had the latest assassination attempt.
Yeah.
It was crazy. We're living through crazy times. One of the craziest things was that the journalists that were there were stealing the wine bottles off of the table. One of them was just tipped it up. She didn't even just take it out with her. She was just tipping it up then.
In a lot of ways, people have become uncivilized.
Mm-hmm. And those are the people that are supposed to be telling the rest of the nation or the world what's going on. I think not.
But if they become uncivilized, what does that say?
That says that area, and I was reading something that somebody that used to live up there around D.C. and stuff, they said you have no idea how their mindset is, and that it is so prevalent as far as hating America, hating our values, all this stuff, and that they're there in that hub. We need to do some severe prayer.
Yeah. Yeah.
That the Holy Spirit will fall in that area. Yes.
It's this one fucking place that holds contempt for the rest of the nation.
Yes.
That's the ones brainwashing the citizens, causing them to turn against each other. And they're doing all this shit purposefully to separate other people, to separate each other.
A house divided cannot stand.
Exactly. They're wanting to break it down from the bottom up.
Right.
They're not good guys, and they're the one. All the rest of the people in the nation are pretty much just sheep.
Some of them, and I think you've got so many people that they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And what needs to be done a lot of times is illegal because the laws are being used against the people.
Well, that's the thing. Unjust laws need to be broken and removed.
Well, the thing is, for those of us that are believers,
there needs to be a complete destruction and then rebuilding.
And I don't know how God's going to work it. I really don't. But I know that for those of us that are believers, that it is a matter of God's law.
Yeah.
That is what we follow first and foremost. But even that is being twisted in today's world.
Oh, it has been for a long time.
Well, how did the devil come at Christ in the wilderness? With Scripture.
Yeah.
So you've got to know it and know it well, know how to use it properly to sit there and go, no, that ain't what that's saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Perilous times. And I'm not trying to be a downer. It's just a matter of observation, sharing observations. And I think that one of the reasons that I am so hermit mode and have been for a while is there are so many energy vampires just rampant. And Kid there, pray for him, hedge protection around him, where he is dealing with the public. and doing a good job of dealing with the public because his little light is shining.
I told someone the other day, or a few days ago, actually, you catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar.
Mm-hmm. It's true. And I had to go
So
in
it's like, why would I waste the vinegar that is used for cleaning?
There are so many kids, I don't know, I had to go in his place. He didn't work today, so I had to go in the store. And he's like, tell me who worked there. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know these kids. I go in, as long as somebody's not up in my personal space, I use my PTSD for proper, situational awareness all the time. Seriously. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to go against you. Just use it properly. And, the people who work there are very pleasant. Mm-hmm. And the kids, and they're about youngest kids' age, some of them younger. There is this fragility about them. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like...
Because we understand how fucked up this world is and how fucked we are in a way.
But you don't have to be. And it's like...
That's the thing. We understand this, but also there are laws in place preventing us from doing the shit that we would like to do.
I understand.
You can't just go out and build your own house anymore.
Do you have a house that you be living in? This house will be your house.
You're putting it as a personal thing
well, I'm
here.
just saying, this is where we talked about last time, the generational homes. And we need to go back and unlearn some of those things that where people was like, you got to have your own home and would shame kids for, staying in the home.
To my knowledge, that's a lot of Gen Z people are learning that.
Yeah.
Because they cannot afford their own homes.
Right.
And the ones that are able to build their own homes, they can't because you got to have paperwork and shit like that.
Yeah. Something's got to give. You
got to have deeds.
At a breaking point.
You literally, it was like that one video that we watched the other day that was of the gnomes, and you were like, what the fuck did we just watch? Where it was like unauthorized.
Yeah. Well, I get that, but that wasn't it was a very bizarre cartoon. It was. Animation. It was bizarre.
It was.
And if you're wondering what some of these hitting noises are, that's a cat climbing our outside door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them will literally take a running jump on the door. Mm-hmm. They do that to get our attention so that we open it up and let them in.
Because they're bullies. They're bullies. And how do you deal with bullies? At a certain point, you have to stand up to them.
Yeah.
And it's when you are at a point where you can no longer stand up to the bullies, that's where you cry out. And it's like, how long, oh Lord, how long? And there's a lot of people that are seeing the signs that's going on. And it's like something has to give.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't know what it's going to be. Don't know how it's going to manifest. None of that. But just observe. I think that's part of what Gen X, that is our job, is to observe.
If some of these people that actually want to change it, there's very few of the law enforcement. There's very few of the actual people that are in power. If people just decided, to just do their own thing all at one time.
Well,
team up with each other to basically go back to how things used to be.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. I know what you're trying to say. A lot of this stuff has to do with, I was trying to think of what the man's name was. They called it the Lucifer effect. I've talked about him lots. Give me just a second. Let me look that up. There was a book by Philip Zimbardo that's called The Lucifer Effect. He was also the one that did the Stanford prison experiment back in the day.
Oh.
And that tells you an amazing amount about the human condition. And I observed this. When I was a corrections officer, did I do it perfectly? No. Were there things that I would have done differently, today than I did then? Yes, because I've learned and grown. And, I was very policy and procedure. And a lot of the policy and procedure needed to be changed, but I was not in a position to do that.
Right.
But how people, when they do get into a position of power, they don't know how to deal with it. And they become the bullies a lot of times.
Yeah.
But it was...
Because it goes to their head.
It does.
They end up having a power trip.
Yeah. It was also interesting that the students who, if you're not familiar with the Stanford Prison Experiment, because I'm talking with my ADHD always, there were two groups of, I think they were college kids or whatever. Part of them were supposed to be the inmates and the other part were supposed to be the guards. And it was supposed to last for 2 weeks. They had to pull it after days because those that were placed as the guards had gotten so abusive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And those who were the inmates had fallen into that victim mentality.
Yes.
At any point, I mean, they just fell into these roles.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people are in that victim mentality, that helplessness, hopelessness mentality, and they have fallen into the apathy hole.
Yeah. The nihilism.
Yeah.
All hope is lost. No.
And so they're just puttering around their lives.
Mm-hmm. And at any point, whomever could have said, hey, I'm out. Let me out of here. I don't want to play this anymore. Let me go home.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing that they could have done. And reportedly, it was Zimbardo that he got caught up in it too. And I've heard him on TED Talks and stuff, and he's admitted it, that he got caught up in it. Mm-hmm. And it was his girlfriend that was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Because in that case, you do need some emotional thinking there.
Yeah. Well, you needed an outsider to look in and go, you're losing your mind. These people are actually abusing people.
Yes.
And we have seen interviews of the participants where some of them that were the inmates and then the other ones that were the guards were like, oh, well, haha, we just did. And there was still this hatred towards the person that had abused them because it was still abuse. Mm-hmm. Did not matter which role was being played, those people were abused.
Yeah.
And yes, this was a very unethical experiment.
Very, but it was necessary.
Well, psychology has done a whole lot of unethical stuff.
That was necessary.
Yeah.
You know. So,
but in the Lucifer effect, they were also discussing the abuses that happened in one of the prisons.
What happened?
No, they really did abuse some of the prisoners.
Yeah, but what is the Lucifer effect here?
How good people can do horrible things. How they turn evil. And it's like kidnap because...
Is that because they don't know how to handle a position of authority?
It's because within humans, we have both. We have the potential for great good and we have the potential for great evil. Mm-hmm. And it is choice.
But that's why you always have to be like, Lord, help me out here.
Yes, yes.
You got to talk to him quite frequently.
Yes. And it's like Kid and I earlier were discussing as far as sociopaths.
Yeah.
Are these people born? Do they develop?
I think they develop in a way, but I need to show you that video of that one sociopath girl. Because I think you would find that fascinating as well.
There are people that have sociopathic tendencies that do not use them for evil.
Yeah.
Which is weird. But because sociopaths, you can't, and I would have to go back and see if there are brain scan differences. More than likely there may be. It may be a shrinkage of the hippocampus. I'm not sure.
She was like, I've got emotions. They're just not, they don't function the same as other people.
As we understand it, it's one of those that a sociopath, it's almost like it is main character syndrome. That everyone else in the world is there for them, to serve them, to whatever, be used by them, whatever.
Except not at the same time.
But as far as...
they'll just use somebody even though it doesn't,
just to do it.
Yeah.
To hurt somebody just to do it because there's no empathy, as far as there's no need for forgiveness if you think that you are never doing wrong. Mm-hmm. There's no true love other than love of self.
Yeah.
That's evil. that is evil. And if you have a human being that is devoid of any of the characteristics of God, which is empathy, love, compassion, forgiveness, virtue, are they truly human? Just because they look human, are they truly human? These are questions. We've got questions in our world today like never before.
That is a valid question. Mm-hmm. It really is.
And what do you do with them?
Because it's like, what about the ones that are sociopathic that do use it for the powers of good?
And they gravitate towards positions of power, which is horrifying.
The ones that are using their sociopathic tendencies for the power of good?
No.
That's what I was just saying.
No.
The ones that are using their powers for good, they're not going into high positions.
No. I mean, like I said, sociopaths, what do they want? They want power and they want control.
Yes. They did very much do gravitate to them.
Yeah.
Which is...
There needs to be...
They're all... That's why a lot of them have a despise. They despise this nation.
Yeah. Because it's on individualism.
Yeah. And they despise it because it's not something they can fully control.
Right. So it's just, like I said, we're in a mess that only God can fix.
Yeah.
Prayers, and more prayers.
Uh-huh. Ain't that some shit?
But these are things that we ponder. And it just, I roll with whatever. It's like, well, how do you pick topics? Well, I don't. It's like, okay, this is the theme for today. It's, it just is. And these are discussions that we truly do have amongst our family. I mean, youngest kid and I, we sit and we talk of these things. Oldest kid, we'll drag him into there because his views are different and he studied different things. And I very much appreciate and value his input.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's very knowledgeable on a lot of subjects.
Yeah, he studied different things. Mm-hmm. Or he has a different take on things. Yeah. And when you have that, that's the reason I encourage people in the comments and stuff like that, because we have some brilliant people that take the time to listen to us. Mm-hmm. And we truly do value their input.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just when we can share what we know, what we've learned, what we've studied, what we've observed, it's for the benefit of all.
Mm-hmm. To educate one another.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the best of humanity. Mm-hmm. And to love someone. To love someone is a connectedness to another, but want the best for that other individual. That is another definition of love. Mm-hmm. It's not just... People have confused love with lust in our society, unfortunately.
Yes. But love is a completely different vibration.
Yes. And to forgive other people because where they are on their path and in this time, and to have some compassion for them and to pray for them. But my God, situational awareness all the time, everywhere. Mm-hmm. This is not a time to just be blind on it. Unless you like me sitting here in the house. And these reasons I sit in the house.
Yeah. And I don't know, some people have been acting fucking crazy on the road and shit like that. And I will say, there's a lot of people coming out of the woodwork.
Yes. Yes.
Which is interesting. It was not like that during the winter. Mm-mm. You did not see some of the characters during the winter that much.
No, they're like me. They go just hibernate. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Do you want to tell the peoples where we can be found?
Yeah, you can find us on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube at Rolanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also, check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, at Rolanda, COCWS. Thank you all for joining us, and have a good...
I actually have a profile description on X now.
She does. Instead of nothing, it is now something.
It is a something, which is basically, for our Orlando Cup of Coffee with Scream on BitChute, Rumble, YouTube.
Yeah.
And, Appalachian,
something.
Neurospicy.
Yes.
It talks about the randomness.
Yes. The randomness.
That is the thing about the ADHD that a lot of people, the neurotypical people, they don't get, because there are so many ideas going on at the same time that it's hard to focus on which one.
It's like a tree branch.
Yeah. and just the monkey swinging from limb to limb to limb, but it's all the same tree.
Yeah. You got a tire swing on one side, hanging off of one limb. You got one of those just ropes. You got a monkey swinging up top.
Yeah.
You got all of it going on.
Yeah.
You got bugs. You got ants.
Yeah, it's really easy to sit there and go, oh, squirrel.
Have you ever hugged a tree and then had ants crawl on you?
Well, that's part of it.
Yeah.
Anyhow, know that you are loved. Treat other people the way you would like to be treated. Let us continually pray one for another. Mm-hmm. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next Cub.
Yeah.
Bye.